Hello and welcome to Greenhat-Redbeard Adventures. It's been a little while. I'm out in the woods today in an area that I haven't been to in such a long time. There's a nice shelter here that I used to hang out in a lot so many years ago. Then they closed for maintenance, started charging for parking, and then that just scared me away at that point. But now parking's free again and the park is open, so first time back here in so many years, so it's nice to be back here. Anyways, let's get to the point of the video. I'm going to show you how to make your own candle holder using a pop can while you're out in the woods. If you're like me, I usually carry some form of small candle with me when I'm out in the woods sometimes. I started doing it last year. I'll put it in a small Ziploc bag, put it either in my fire kit or somewhere in my backpack. And so now I don't have a stand for this. I usually just let it sit there, but this one here, I'm going to show you how to make a stand using your own pop can. The tools that you're going to need for this is, if you're at home, the tools will be a little bit different. Mostly just a pair of scissors will do you just fine, and maybe even a barbecue lighter. But obviously, if you're outdoors like I am, I'm going to be using my Bic lighter. I'm going to use the knife on my multi-tool. You can use the fixed blade knife, but it doesn't matter whether you use the one or the other. I don't recommend using the scissors on your multi-tool or your Swiss Army knife tool simply because it could possibly wear down your scissors sharpness a little bit. But with a knife, you can at least sharpen that up easily. So I'm going to use my knife for this. So you want to find a can that's usually, like most forest areas that I've been to, wooded areas, it's almost a guaranteed fact. You're going to find some form of man-made garbage, pop cans, beer cans galore. I'm using a Monster tall can of Monster for this one here. So what you want to do is anywhere on the can, you want to make a cutout, basically in the shape of the capital letter I. So you want to do a nice cut lengthwise, pretty much the full length, and then across the front top, across the bottom, and basically just open it up on both sides. So I'm going to show you now. So just nice and carefully. If this is your first time doing it and you're a little nervous, I do recommend you might want to wear some sort of gloves to at least protect your fingers. You know, that little, lose control of the knife, a little slip of the fingers kind of thing. You don't want to cut yourself. And again, that's why if you're at home, use scissors, so it's better. So we're going to make our first cut going down lengthwise, the full length of the can. So it just looks like that. Now we're going to put it on the side here. How big you want to make the eyelet, it's entirely up to you. So honestly, I'm not even really guessing or measuring it. So just carefully. So there's the second cut on the bottom. Now we're going to do the cut on the top here. And just like that, you're almost completely finished. Like, this is the majority of the hard work right here. So now you just want to very carefully take this and open it up. Just fold it open a little bit. Give it a little pinch there just to make sure it stays open. So it's going to look like this. Again, how big you want to make these flap doors, entirely up to you. You can make them big and make them small, but this will do just fine. And that there is perfect. And also, when I see there's a little bit of, Monster energy drink left in there. You want to make sure you just dump that out to make sure that it doesn't really interfere, so to speak. Now, if your candle is too big, like mine was, I actually cut this in half. This was way too long, so I snipped this in half. Now, if you put it just in there just like it is, you're going to notice that the bottom of the can has that sort of a dome shape onto it. You can see how it's domed inside. So if I just stick that in there and light it, it's just going to flop over on its side, and it's not going to be very maximum effective. So to fix this, what you want to do is you want to take your lighter, preferably your barbecue lighter or the Bic lighter or your matches, whatever it is, and heat the bottom of it. Get it nice and melted, get it all gooey, and then stick it in the bottom of the can and let it cool and dry. And that'll basically act like a glue, in which case they'll hopefully, if you can do it right, it'll prop it upright and it'll stick itself like that and you won't have an issue. So let's give this a shot. My lighter is a little bit on the crappy side, as you can see, but it's a little bit small, but I'll go up close here for you can see. Oop, see it. Be very careful. Hold it on a bit of an angle. You don't want that candle wax to drip onto your hands and burn your fingers. Trust me, that's not something you want to be dealing with when you're out in the woods or at home or anything else for that matter. So again, right now it's already dripping. And you just want to do this very quickly. Stick it right there. Hold it there for a few seconds. And hopefully it'll act like a glue. If you do this correctly, it'll hopefully stick like there, like a glue, and stay there. So it's sitting there, but it's not like stuck there. For example, I didn't do it enough. There's another option you can try, which is try to stick it on there as best you can, and then take your lighter and heat the bottom of the can up, so that way the melts that, and it's all the candle wax is already melting inside of it. In which case, all you gotta do is just adjust it by your fingers, hold it there, let it cool. So I'm gonna try that now. Sorry I can't give you a really good view with this, but it's starting to melt. I can see it oozing around. Yeah, it's starting to work. It's starting to really, candle wax is definitely starting to spread around a little bit inside the can there. If I had a barbecue lighter, for example, I would definitely be able to give you a better view of this. Now I'm just simply gonna put it in the middle position there, pressing it down a little bit, holding it in that position. Hopefully when it cools off, it'll hopefully stick in that position and stay put. Yeah, this is a bit of the dull, boring part, I know. So now, give it a little shake, and it's not moving around. It's actually pretty decently solid there now. So that underneath part, even if the candle is kind of tipped on its side, just heat the bottom. You'll definitely start to ooze around, and now it's stuck. It's not moving nowhere, and now I can light the candle itself. And there you go. There you have it. Now, this can in particular, the top is already opened up, and I would imagine that most, if not all, cans that you find in the wilderness will also be opened up. But if you can, especially with today's raining, it's got a little bit of rain, before lighting it, try to close that up, so that way if you're outdoors and no shelter above you, hopefully the rain won't drop into it and douse it. But if you're in a position of where you're protected, then obviously you want that little bit of smoke to vent out that lip there. And you can definitely tie a string to the tab on there and hang this wherever it is you want to hang it. If you're a little worried of the candle maybe coming loose and flopping out on you, before putting the candle in there and lighting it, you can in fact cut the right onto the side door pieces here, just cut them in half, and then fold the bottom half inwards on itself, so that way the bottom half of the candle is now protected, and hopefully if by some chance it slips, it won't fall out on you. So a little good idea, a little tip to try out for yourself and see what it is. If in a position of where I have it like this and I want to move it around, try to be careful. Wear gloves, hold it by the bottom half of the can. If the bottom half of the can is still really hot as well, then you can either use your multi-tool to move it, or I recommend blowing out the candle, let it cool, then move it by hand, and then relight it later. Again, entirely up to you, your decision, and what you want to do. But there you have it. So I'm not sure how good you can see that on camera, where the bottom of the candle, the wax is formed around that dome there and basically acts like a glue in a way. And it works just fine. So this is Greenhat-Redbeard Adventures. Stay safe and have fun.